Commodore's quarters, as well as Frank Cambria out of Staten Island Little League. Frank actually does parts of Brooklyn as well. He's from District 24. He's the Little League District Administrator for District 24. I'm assuming that the Commodore is ready, Frank, but he keeps running in and out of his oh, yeah, okay. So the guy's out of his mind. First, I'm going to bring in the Commodore, and then I'm going to bring in Frank Cambria. So without further ado, here is the nut job that we have all come to love. I say that he's got a million spams. That's not fans. That's spams, the people that stole our Instagram. The one and only man with no boats and purpose, the Commodore. Commodore, how the hell are you and where are you?
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Hello to my nephew, Michael. Told me how to make a grand entrance into my own Commodore's quarters. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Guy comes in like Kramer. Hell of an entrance. I see that you've got no place to be. What'd you get to bed about 2 a.m. working on that entrance? Anyway, we'd like to know one thing around here. It is actually about to be, you guessed it, Little League season.
Yeah.
Because Little League is coming back. That's right. Now, there aren't many teams that were coached like the great Walter Matthau, but there are a lot of great men involved in Little League nowadays, and bringing on one of those gentlemen that's making a great impact with baseball here in the Staten Island community is our very own Frank Cambria. Frank, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thank you. I want to thank Danny and the Commodore for having us on. Appreciate it. I
hate that you call him the Commodore, but we created this monster, so
he's the man.
Here we are. Frank, thanks for taking the time tonight to come on. I understand that Little League is making a comeback. Tell us about it.
I'll tell you, it took a lot of work, and I'm really ecstatic that it's finally getting off the ground. A lot of people really helped us out to get the season going, because it was almost totally lost, and we thought it was just going to be a dead year. So I want to start off with my 7 presidents of each Little League. They did a great job, outstanding, working together as a unit. The DA staff, which all my guys are out there working to get this together, and between the presidents and the staff, we put it together. And then, of course, you had the pandemic and everything else that was going on. So now we needed our local politicians to step up, which they totally did. A bunch of them. A couple of guys that really stood out was Congressman Max Rose. He really stepped up to try to help out all the Little Leaguers. Stephen Matteo, who's always out there. Joe Borelli, all our local politicians. And then we started working with the governor's office. And good shout out to them, because originally baseball and softball were locked into phase 4, which wasn't happening until at least the end of July, if not August. So that's a big deal that they stepped in. They helped me out a lot. I've had several meetings with them, and they moved us into phase 3. We have had to submit plans. I had sent out a 18-point protocol that myself and the presidents put together combined, and they did a great job putting us together to get it out. Had to be approved by the health department, and also as well, that was another big part of it, which they did. And by all these guys doing this, we're back on the track of opening up next week. I just want to say local sports is a very important step to getting the kids back to normalcy, but we need to do it safely. That's really important. So we got some good things coming up with opening day and down in September. When September comes around, we thought that the league, the season was going to be lost, but now since we got it back up, the presidents all agreed to hold the district tournament, which is the All-Stars. And those 12-year-olds that played their whole career in Little League are now having the opportunity to get out there and finish their career with the District 24 All-Star Tournament, which is what we Little League, they shut down the World Series, they shut down the regional, they shut down the states. But at least we got our portion of it to get a champion and a possibility at a sectional champion, which is the city champion. So a lot of good things are coming up.
Well, I know the Commodore is a big fan of the Little League community, although he has no I don't know how you would say it, stokes in the fire right now. He's got nobody of his own playing Little League, but he's devoted much of his life to Little League baseball, and I'm sure he's got a couple of follow-up questions. Commodore.
Hey, Frank, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. I know you're a little tight on time, but just a couple, real first question I have. How about the girls? Is anything happening for the girls as far as softball?
100%. Yes. Listen, everyone's treated exactly the same in our little leagues. Everyone's fair. Along with the boys program, we do have the softball programs. We will have a girls minor division, which will play interleague. In other words, all the leagues will play between each other, games against each other, which makes it even better. So they get to see other facilities besides just their own. The major girls is going to be a pretty strong division. Looks like we have about, I'd say about 6 to 8 teams there, which is going to be real good. And we're actually going to get off the senior program girls, which is 13 through 16, which is really good for these girls because they like to get out, socialize, and play, which, Little League is really about socializing, making friends, and having a good time.
Yeah, that's good news. I have 5 granddaughters now after raising 3 boys. All of them played down at Snug Harbor, and I spent a lot of good times in that clubhouse down there. But if I could just follow up with a couple of quick questions, Frank.
Sure.
I know you're pressed for time, but you mentioned health protocols before. The first question I have for you is, will fans be allowed to watch the games?
They just relaxed a little bit the restrictions. There was one family member was allowed to come on the complex. So what's going to happen now is as of phase 3, which will be Monday, July 6th, they're going to now allow 2 family members, which is going to be great. But part of our protocols that we submitted and we're going to follow, all our leagues are going to follow heavily, is that we're going to maintain the 6 feet social distancing, and all adults will be wearing masks, especially where the areas where they can't maintain that social distancing.
Right. So good common sense will be utilized. There's no temperature checking involved in anything like that. Is there?
Believe it or not, we would love to do it. A lot of our leagues, my league presidents would love to have done that, but we can't do that only because should someone take a wrong reading, or if the gun, they use a temperature gun that they put up to the forehead, if they read it wrong or something goes on, we're violating that person's civil rights and we could be sued. So because of legal obligations, we can't do it.
I got you. I'm asking these couple of questions because it's in line, sort of like with Major League Baseball. They have their health protocols. But forget that stuff. I love to see the kids play ball, and they don't really give 2 hoots about this stuff. They don't understand it. But we have to protect everybody. I got it. How about, are there any rule changes? What happens if you go to extra innings? Are you going to put somebody on second base like they're doing in the big leagues? And what about chewing gum and spitting? What happens there?
Yeah, tell you, you're sharp. You got all the points out that we've been discussing. Exactly right. What I discussed with my presidents. Yes, no seeds this year. No gum chewing on the complex. We don't want them spitting. Exactly right. Those are very, very important points you just brought up.
Right. Cool. Very good. And what about baseball? Are they going to? You going to keep the ball in play until it's lost over the fence, home run, dinger, or is it going to be taken out of play after so many uses like in the major leagues? Because I told Danny last week we got to go get a shitload of baseballs.
Well, also part of our protocols is that they're going to bring the Lysol out, and they're going to each half inning they'll have a couple of balls going, and they'll switch them up when the teams
rub them up.
Go out. Yep, and we'll clean them up and in between pitches and everything else.
You know what, Commodore? I tell you this every episode, and every episode you go against me. Frank, I know you're pressed for time, but I got to say it. I always say no hardball questions, no pun intended. And here he is asking you about 8-year-olds spitting out gum and shit. I'm sorry, Frank. I thought it was going to be an easy interview.
No, it wasn't. Listen, it was a great interview, Frank. I just want to thank you. You and I have been talking since last summer. I reached out to you just when you were hitting the playoffs, and you had a lot going on. I said, I'll see you next year. And look at what happened. Yeah. Here we are. Thanks so much. Good luck. We hope to follow you. We hope to come down. maybe you could get us press pass and we could provide a little coverage for you.
100%. I'd love to get you down there, especially do some of these games. You'll enjoy them.
Oh, we'd love to be down
Sounds
there,
good.
Frank. Thanks so much for the time, and have a great 4th of July weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. You too as well.
All right, that's Frank Cambria from Staten Island Little League Baseball.